I would like to welcome you to this episode of Sitecore 300 Seconds Plus. My name is Marvin Lacuna and I work as a solution consultant at Sitecore. In this episode, I'm going to give you a deeper insight into Sitecore publishing and showcase how it works. If you are interested in a shorter overview, please watch my 300 seconds episode for more details. All right, to give you an overview, publishing is an act of making appropriate content available or unavailable to the public-facing side of your website. That means to say, publishing content, you're triggering the content management environment to copy the items from the master database to the publishing target, the web database. You can do this with two different operations, manually or automated. We'll take more into the details in a minute. So what's Sitecore publishing? So basically, it's when you want to edit or create an items, they must be published through the Sitecore publishing operations. So this lets you save unfinished items and decide exactly when the items are going to be launched in your public-facing site of your website. In this episode, we're going to discuss the 5 pillars. The first one is going to be the preview web page, whereby I'm going to be walking you through on how you can do this using Experience Editor, Content Editor, as well as Horizon. At the same time, we'll know how you can set up publishing restrictions and also configure it as well. And of course, how you can publish a web page through different Sitecore interfaces, publish a website, and not the least is how you can set up your preview publishing targets. Now, as the first of the publishing process that we were going to be talking about is, of course, the business use is the preview a web page, whereby your business users will allow them to preview a page with a specific date, so they will know how their content looks in the past and, of course, in the future. Of course, we're going to be talking about the different language versions as well as in different devices. So without further ado, let's jump in. So from here itself, what you will see is the Sitecore Launchpad. There are a couple of sections that you can see here is the marketing applications, content editing, the control panel, the access management. But what we're more interested about for this episode is going to be the content editor, experience editor, and horizon. So we'll go directly to the experience editor so to see how your web page looks once you open it. So from here itself, it's basically a presentation-like public-facing site that you have, whereby you can do a content editing experience with what you see is what you get. You can also do a drag and drop components on the fly. So, but what we're more focused going to be is on the preview mode, whereby here itself you can have an options to preview your content in the past, in the future. For example, you want to publish a content that is only for a certain period of time. You can use this one to preview content, let's say, for example, tomorrow. So let's do that. So you'll see September 4th. Then you can also do this by selecting a date and time, so you'll know how your website looks at that point. All right. So moreover, you can also preview your content in different language versions. So right now I'm currently selecting English, but you can also preview it in Japanese. You can also preview it in different language versions that you basically set up in your website. Now, alternatively, let's go to the content editor. From content editor, you can also do our preview mode. So by just clicking this and then clicking the preview icon on top of this publish tab. So by just clicking this, it will lead you back to the experience editor. Then this is what you will see as well. So similar options, but just a different way of doing it. Lastly, as part of the preview page, you can do this using the Horizon interfaces. So from here itself, what you could do is that from here you already see that you can already preview your content, but on top of this, you can use this device simulation, so you will know how your website looks in different devices. So I can do this via phone, I can do this via tablet, or I can do this via desktop. Okay. Going back to this, so the value to your business is basically it allows you to preview your web page before it gets published to your public-facing site. This means you can review, amend, or adjust the content to minimize any content mistakes that could lead to misinformation. And of course, you have a way to preview it in different timing, different language versions, and different devices. The next one of the site publishing process that we have is how you can set up the publishing restrictions for an item. Basically, you specify an item or a version of an item that you want to be published or unpublished, either with a specific date range or indefinitely. It also allows you to control which items and pages are available at any point of time. So let's go back. From here itself, what I'm going to do is I'll just go back to the content editor, and then I will click this publish tab and then click this change icon. This change icon will open a pop-up, and then there are a couple of tabs that you can choose. The first one is, of course, is setting up or having restrictions on a specific current language only. And then you have probably version 1, version 2, version 3, and you can specify from which date to what date you want it to be publishable. Now, another thing is that you can specify what you want, what item you want it to be published, or this one is only applicable only on a specific language. Here you can check this unpublished or published, and then you can specify whether you want to publish the from date, and then the publishable to is going to be optional. So if you want it to be like, let's say, for example, I want to publish from today onwards without unpublishing it, you can do it this way, or you can specify a specific date range so that only at this given time, this content will be published. Okay. Another option is that you can go back to the experience editor and do a publishing. So just go back to homepage and then click this settings. Similar option that it will give you. So you have this pop up whereby you can specify the version of an item that you want to be published or unpublished, and of course the item as well. So going back to this is that the value to your business is, of course, you have a full control over your content when you want it to be published or unpublished. Of course, there's also a way for you to schedule publishing, for example, at your own convenience so that you don't have to monitor it and wait for a specific time before you publish it. Okay, the third one from our list is how you can publish your page. You can do this via 3 different Sitecore interfaces. You can specify which language version you want it to be published, or whether you want to publish the child items, and of course the related items as well. So let's flip back. Okay, from Experience Editor, what you can do is just click this publish item. Let's say I want to publish this homepage. What it will give me is publish item options. So this one is a way for you to look at whether you want to publish all the sub items or related items and what language you want to be published. When I mean by publish sub item, that means to say currently I'm selecting the homepage. If I go back to the content editor, that means to say I am basically saying that, hey, I want to publish homepage as well as all the items underneath it. That means your health, the page on the go page, at home page, and all the content underneath this will also be published. Now, talking about the sub-related items, these related items referring to those items that are attaching or referring to this specific content. That means to say, I have an image currently in the screen right now, and then that means to say, aside from this content that is going to be published, this image will also be published together with this content. Okay, these options that you have basically is something that you can pick and choose. You can select both, or you can select one of this, or you can select both as well. All right, so going back to our topic, your business basically will get a way for you to publish a content with just a few clicks of a button. Of course, you can also do this one with 3 Sitecore interfaces available out of the box. Similarly, if you want to publish your website, you can do this again with your Sitecore interfaces. This one is by just going back here and then going back to the content editor and then clicking this publish item. So instead of clicking the publish item, you have to click the publish site. So once I click this publish site, another dialog will pop up. But what you will notice is that there's a difference. You don't have to select the publish sub items and related items because regardless of what you choose here, what you selected on the left side, it will be publishing all the content for you. So what you just need to worry about is that whether I want to publish only English, when I'll publish French or Japanese, it depends. It depends on what you want to publish. You can do this via content editor. Of course, you can also do this by going to the desktop and then clicking the publish site and then click publish. So once you click the publish, this is how it looks like. Then you can also view it from the publishing dashboard to see whether it's already completed or not. So at this point, currently it's already completed because there's no active jobs running at the moment. So it's fast. Okay, so basically, for the value for a business is you have a flexibility to publish your entire site. You also have a flexibility to not do it one by one. And of course, it reduces the amount it takes to publish the volumes of an item. Now, the fifth one from the list is how you can set up your preview publishing target. This way, it basically for you to have an early release of material for only selected partner or customers that you have. So let's go back and show you how you can do this. From here itself, I'll go back to the content editor. I'll close this pop-up and then I'll just scroll down from the system. Here itself, you will see this publishing target, which you will have to specify. From here, you can specify whether you want to publish it to a specific another environment that only certain partners that have access to. So if I would have to do that, let's say, for example, earlier for ABC partners, then I can specify which target database I want to publish to this preview publishing target. So let's say I want to publish the web database. I want to publish the master database. I can do it with my own liking. So, and not to mention, of course, if let's say you have a workflow state that are not in a final workflow state, then those content can also still be published to your preview publishing target environments. So, what's the value benefit for your business? Of course, it supports publishing to a target environment for non-Sitecore users, so they basically don't need to have an access to your Sitecore instance, and also they can review through the internal site for early release of materials that only certain partners or customers that have access to it before you can roll out to your public-facing site. So to summarize, here's the value benefits that you will get for using Sitecore publishing feature. Firstly, it allows you to preview a page before it gets published, so you can review, amend, or adjust your content in different timing, language version, or devices before you release your content to your end users. This way, you can minimize any mistakes that could lead to misinformation. Second one, you have a full control over your content when you want it to be published or unpublished. This means you can schedule it with your own convenient time. Third, it's very easy to publish a web page using Sitecore publishing wizards with just a few clicks of a button. The fourth one is you have flexibility to publish your entire site, so your business do not have to do it one by one at their own convenience. With this, you can reduce the amount it takes to publish the volumes of an item. And of course, Sitecore supports publishing to preview publishing targets for early release of materials or only certain partners or customers have access to it. So thank you for watching this episode of Sitecore in 300 Seconds Plus. I hope this gives you a better insight of Sitecore publishing works and what benefit it can bring to your business. If you would like to have a chat, please email me at marvin.lacuna@sitecore.com. Thank you and have a great day, everyone.